Hey everybody, welcome to the Geek Reloading podcast. I'm your host Adam, and as always, my co-host Josh.
Hello.
And we got the New Year's episode. This is the first one that, does it drop on the New Year, man?
Yeah, it's the first, I think.
It drops on the first. So New Year's Day is when this one is actually hitting. That's crazy.
So happy 2021.
Yeah,
Woot,
2021.
woot.
It can only get better from here.
Oh yeah, no. Let's just let's be safe. Let's go into this and just slowly, calmly walk in. Don't make a sound. Don't draw attention. Let's be nice this year.
I'm hyper cautiously optimistic. That's where I'm standing with this right now. With everything,
I'm right there with you. Absolutely.
Okay. So this episode, it's a little different. I mean, it's the new year, and New Year always comes with resolutions. That's like something that everyone does every single year. So me and Josh, we're going to talk about ours a little bit. Some are gaming related, some of them aren't. And then also just with 2021 around the bend, we just want to talk about what we're excited about. So I think that that's all good, right? What do you think, man?
Yeah, seriously, honestly, of all the podcasts we've done so far, this is the one that I have done the most research and the most fretting about figuring out.
Really?
Not even joking. Seriously. So when you came up with the idea of, hey, let's do resolutions, when I was like, oh yeah, we should do gaming resolutions or something like that, and you're like, no, let's just do normal resolutions. I'm like, son of a bitch. I haven't done resolutions for years. I had problems with them, and they didn't work out.
You haven't actually even written them down and decided on them, or you haven't followed through with them.
I was religious and coming up with them and writing them down for years, and then a few years ago, 3 years ago, I was just like, these are not working out for me. So I tried doing a couple other. I did month goals and stuff, but seriously, this is the first year in a while that I am totally fired up and in it to win it for resolutions.
Interesting. Okay. Well, then I'm glad that we did this one. I'm not going to tell you how little I thought through these, because here's the thing. It's not that I don't do the writing down resolutions and putting them on a board and waking up and looking at it every day kind of stuff. I just kind of set an intention for the year. That's what I do. I set intentions, and I go, I should try and focus on those. And most of the time, I want to say I'm 50-50 on success with that. So maybe it would be better if I did write them down. Who knows?
Well, I mean, I also have a really bad habit of focusing on the bad rather than the good. So, I would make 10 resolutions or some crazy number, and I would get all but one. And at the end of the year, I'd be focusing on that one, and it's
that 10% would taint your 90%.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even recognize the 90%. So it was just it's really I'm learning. I'm going to counseling. I'm getting that stuff figured out, hopefully. But yeah, this year I'm actually super stoked because I've got plans. I've got ideas. I've got I looked up how to make SMART goals and oh shit. I've done a lot of research for this one podcast.
Yeah, so you went from no resolutions the last few years to leveling up to the point where you are approaching it differently even this year, and you planned and executed all that.
Oh yeah, it's stupid ridiculous. So
yeah, well done. Good on you. Okay, so
we'll see.
Here's the thing. Going back to something you mentioned, this is a shout out to everybody. Josh is going through counseling for whatever he's going through. But after 2020 and during 2020 and everything that's going to come in 2021, if you need help one way or another, you should go do it. Literally, everyone could use somebody else to either talk to have them pick their brain, or just someone to bounce ideas off of. And after 2020, that was the shit show that we had. Everybody, if you need help, go seek it out. There are plenty of professionals that are willing to sit down and talk with you and help you figure stuff out. And you know what? It's going to be for the better. Just jump on it.
Seriously. And let me add on to that real quick. Personally, I am a big advocate of counseling. Even when I'm doing great, counseling really helps me. It helps me to break out of my mindsets, and it helps me to put things in perspective. The other thing is if you go to a counselor and you are not clicking with that counselor, that is not a bad thing. but don't stay with that counselor. Move on.
Yeah.
There are tons of counselors, and you will find one that you will connect with and that will help you, and it'll change. You may have one counselor that you love and he helps you work through everything, and then after a little while he just isn't helping, and then you need to find another one, and they all have different styles and everything. If you don't like a counselor, find another one.
Yeah. And what's nice is I have a friend who's a therapist, and I asked him one day, I'm like, so when somebody says that you're not working out, do you take offense? Like, oh no. He's like, there are going to be people that you're going to gel with, and you're going to be able to help them greatly. And there are people where for just some reason you're on two different wavelengths. And if you stay with me and we're not working that way, it's not going to benefit anybody.
It's frustrating for both people.
Yeah.
And really, all you guys out there that are feeling like you're doing really good, go to a counselor anyways. Go and see a counselor a couple times and just let that professional tell you, you know what, you're doing really damn good. Like, that's got to be a feather in the cap right there. It's just like the whole, you're doing really good from a professional.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and also it's nice for them to point you in the right direction. There have been plenty of times where I've spoken to somebody who is a profession, and they go, well, you're doing okay, but you're putting all your energy in this direction and it's just a waste of energy, or you aren't investing enough energy into this space and you'll get much more benefit from it. And so they can help you direct that ship. So, I mean, if we're going to start off the new year right, let's start it off with encouraging everyone to try and make sure that your mental health and your family relationships and everything else are positive. And, if you need help, go seek it out.
And also, I mean, it's 2021. Why, counseling should be a normal thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And 2020 is over. If you're listening to this, 2020 is over. You've conquered the dragon.
Good
job. Sure, there might be something else out there in 2021. But until that happens, it's time to work on rebuilding. We can rebuild.
We can't, you know what? And we survived 2020. We can survive anything. Give everyone a high five because they made it through 2020.
For real. So when it comes to resolutions, Josh, I mean, do you want me to go through my entire list and then we can go through your entire list and then we can just bounce back and forth about things we're excited about?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, because that's the format we have right now.
For
all you guys who are listening in, it's not nearly as natural and fluid as you would think. We have to write these ideas out, or else you would have a 3-hour-long podcast that would just be a total clusterfuck. So we have little points that we like to bring up and make sure that we aren't missing, so then you guys have an enjoyable experience. That's a peek behind the curtain there.
And it's a nice little format of clusterfuck this time.
Yeah. It really concentrates that clusterfuck into more of a cluster nugget, and then that's what we dispersed to the populace. That's the goal.
Cluster nuggets all over the
place. So resolutions for me, I've got some basic ones and some ones that are a little different. But so my first one is one that almost everybody mentions, and that's focusing on working out again. COVID, I was actually pretty good about it, but my biggest thing is we stopped going to the gym last year around Christmas time because my wife was a fortune teller and she saw COVID coming a mile away. And so my big goal right now is to work on figuring out how I want to approach building a home gym of some sort. Oh, and nice. That's I've been researching a lot about it, and I used to have a home gym that I gave to Josh, and I was like, maybe I'll do one of those, but I kind of want free weights and whatever. And so I'm figuring out the spacing in my garage and if I can make a home gym in it. That's kind of the first big one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and you're a well-shaped individual. So I mean, you know how to work out, you know how to do this stuff. So I got to help you, man. I got to get into this stuff too. So
yeah, and it's kind of exciting because my kid has mentioned that she wants to learn how to exercise, and I told her I'd help teach her just the basics, but she's like, well, I don't want to be doing insanity and high intensity stuff with you. I'm like, no, I'm going to teach you how to move your body first, and then you can start going from there. Because around 13, 14 is usually when people start learning weight training and stuff like that anyway. So she's around the right age. So we're going to try that.
Hey, maybe I just need to come and join you guys, and then you guys can make fun of me and have it a bonding experience that way.
Hey, there's no judgment. If you're here to work, then we're going to praise you. But yeah, man, I'm totally down. Anyway, So one that obviously fits into our podcast is that a goal of mine is to try and experience new types of games that I really haven't tried yet. But there are plenty of games, like in any genre, there are plenty of games that are praised for different things. And so my big ones that I kind of thought of off the top of my head is like simulation games, which are huge with my wife, like Harvest Moon or Pikmin or Civilization or whatever. And like what are they called? The novel games where like you're playing through a novel. What is that one, Josh?
Oh, like the visual novels?
Yeah, visual novel.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So I've heard of a few that are really popular through both of those. And so I'm going to try those games specifically because I'm very horror, survival, shooter, action, adventure. And that's like my main bread and butter. But I'm going to try these other ones and see if I can find some games that actually work for me.
Also, let's just say this. Because we're doing this New Year's resolution and, we got to actually like shut up, put our money where our mouth is. We're going to try to keep updated. So you're actually able to join us on this crazy adventure.
Yeah, so maybe we should do like a couple touch base episodes throughout the year. You know how far we've done.
Yeah, even if it's just like, hey, resolution time. This is what's going on.
Yeah,
type of thing. Once in a while.
I like that idea. So to like piggyback off of the previous resolution, I'm trying to explore new movie genres that I don't usually choose. I'm huge into anime and action and that kind of stuff. So like movies and TV shows, the ones that I want to try to get into and have like see if there's stuff that I really enjoy is documentaries and then like live shows and plays. Like I watched Hamilton on Disney and I was like, well, damn, I should probably watch more Broadway shows that have been recorded.
Dude, yeah, seriously. Like Hamilton was really good. Another one that's really fun is Wicked, because the story and everything, but the spectacle is like, damn. So
yeah, and like another one that's on my list, like we watched Phantom of the Opera. My wife had the play, the live recording of the Broadway show, but then like Les Mis and like Pippin and a few others. Like that's what I want to try and find is kind of the goal.
Nice.
And then just good documentaries. I got into documentaries a little bit this year, but then I kind of tapered off. So I'm going to make it a goal to like try and watch like I think like a documentary a month just to kind of get like I like documentary format. I think I just need to get more into it. I think that's like the big thing.
I'll even help you with that. Like we could make a goal like, okay, we're going to watch this documentary and talk about it.
Nice. I like your thinking. Maybe we'll do a top documentaries episode or something. Who knows?
Nice.
Yeah. This one I'm excited about. My kid is wanting to get into cosplaying and stuff like that. And so me and her have talked a little bit and I'm going to try my stab at like foam prop making. Oh goodness. Can't even talk. And then I'm actually finally going to get my first like resin kit, I think, to experiment with that too. And dude, who knows?
I bought resin for us.
I bought. Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got it. I mean, it's in a mess, but I mean, I got it for us. Like I was ready. I'm ready for this.
Yeah. And then maybe if I get around to it, if I get it in a good trade or something, if I get a cool 3D printer, maybe I'll try 3D printing too. I now have the space to actually have a 3D printer somewhere in this office. So I feel like I should try. Yeah.
Not in your recording. Those things are loud.
No, yeah. But, besides that.
Yeah.
Nice. My final one is that I am going to get back into doing photography and photo editing and specifically like photo manipulation. Like you'll see a lot of people who will photo edit like fantasy series stuffs where they'll like make an oversized cat and a kid and fairy and stuff in one image. I want to do stuff that's like playing with realism and fantasy and stuff. Our friend Austin Lindsay, he's amazing at doing that. He did a lot of cool stuff like that a couple of years ago.
Seriously, I'm excited to hear that you're going to go back to that because some stuff that you did was amazing. Like I still have that picture of the brick wall with the Master Sword, graffitied on it. That was so cool, man. Yeah,
that's what I'm going to keep on working on is that kind of stuff and just kind of. I want to I'm already doing that for work, but I want to do it for fun too. So I'll see. Maybe you'll see some posts of that too on our social media and whatnot. Who knows?
Yeah. And I would like to do some stuff for, this place, like for our podcast. I want to
Yeah.
get some stuff set up and maybe even get some avatars that we can kind of play with. I've got
Nice.
a lot of shirts that I want to try screen printing and shit like that. So
Nice. I'm down. Anyway, so those are my resolutions this year, and I'm kind of keeping it fluid. I'm excited to try. Some of these things are going to happen faster than others, but I'm excited. It's a whole year that's kind of like it's an open year. I mean, sure, we're still in the pandemic, and these are all things I can do from home for the most part. You know,
absolutely, and the thing is you're not pushing yourself anything crazy, like, but it's all going to add to your life.
yeah, I'm
So,
excited. Anyway,
that's
so those are
seriously
mine.
cool.
Josh, you actually, like we talked about our little format of our episode, but Josh specifically went, I'm not going to write these down. I kind of I want to hit you with them fresh and see what your reaction is.
Yeah.
So
So there's two of them that I'm like, yeah, and it literally, like, I've got written down there, like, talk to Adam about this. So I've got 5 resolutions, and my first one is kind of an extra step. The next step on my writing goal that I had last year is I want to publish 2 books. I want to have it self-published on Amazon, get those 2 books. I've got one that's written and I still have to rewrite it because it's terrible, but like, and I've got one that I started. I'm probably about, maybe a tenth done with that, but I want to have 2 books published this year. And also,
that's
like,
awesome.
I'm just gonna go through like the ideas and the basics of these. Like, I'm not even joking. I've got like 7 or 8 pages written on each one of these right now, like in my journal and stuff. So
Okay.
it's a
Okay. Hit
little
me
bit
with
crazy.
it.
Like I'm like, I've got it all ready.
I'm excited to hear it.
I've broken things down. Like, I looked up. Also, like, shout out to the YouTube channel Crash Course. You can learn damn near anything on that in the best easy format.
Crash
Yeah.
course, huh?
Crash Course, yeah,
Okay.
seriously, it's amazing. But yeah, they've got a video called SMART Goals, and it's a acronym for specific, measurable, ambitious,
Actionable, ambitious. Okay.
ambitious, realistic, and timed or timely.
Hmm.
And seriously, like, I broke every one of these ones down into those things. So
That's awesome.
I went overboard a little bit. All right, so yeah, published books. Like, I've got word goals to write, editing goals, like everything. It's all broken down. So the second one is, so when my dad was having problems and he was in hospice and everything, I talked to him about getting a tattoo in his honor type of thing. And we talked about it, and he wasn't really big into tattoos, but he could kind of understand what I was wanting. And that's been years since he's passed, and I still haven't gotten that tattoo. And I've made the excuses and stuff. So this year, one of my goals is to get that tattoo. And to go along with that, I want to get my arms, if nothing else, just my arms, where that tattoo is going to be, in better shape. So I want to get a little bit better into in a better, healthy state.
Okay. So,
So-
you don't have to divulge what the tattoo's going to be, but where are you wanting it on your arm?
I want it like directly on my shoulder, and I have no problem like talking about this. Like, my dad was very big into family and genealogy and stuff, so I'm going to get a Celtic knotted tree with roots, and then I've got my dad's old journal, and I'm trying to find the words that he always told me when I was growing up. And those were, remember who you are. And I want that circled around the tree. So, but yeah,
That's
right on my
awesome.
shoulder. And I got a lot of work to get going on that. But
Well, you
This
know I'm
year.
a gym nut. I'm happy to help you however I can, and that's a cool goal, man. And dude, tattoos. Well, we're not encouraging or not encouraging tattoos, but tattoos are the best. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna give you this warning, everyone. If you don't have a tattoo and you want a tattoo and you get a tattoo, it's kind of like a drug. Like, you
Yeah.
won't think about it, but then you'll be like, oh, I need to get this one too. Oh yeah, this one. And you start really wanting all the tattoos.
How many do you have? You have the Starry Night, and then you have
I
Fail
only
Better.
have I only have 2 right now because
Okay.
I haven't let myself get any more because my next one was this, you know,
Got it.
one for my dad. So this year I will be getting this one, and yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
So-
That's awesome. I'm excited for you. Like that's a. It wasn't necessarily a resolution, but I think that a tattoo's in my future too. We'll see. I'm trying
Absolutely.
to plan it out still, but that's awesome, man. I like it.
And this is one of the ones that I'm going to be like, hey, can you help me learn to not suck at lifting and shit? So
I got you, man.
I'll be bugging you a lot about this one.
For sure. I got you, buddy. Okay. So that's a really good one that you got there. What else do you
Yeah.
got, man?
So my third one is finish our downstairs. So I'm redoing like I made 2 offices out of a big family room, and now the offices are done, but there's half a rest of a basement that needs to be finished. So I'm going to get this basement entirely done. We're still working on if we're going to do like a kitchenette down here. So when we redo our kitchen upstairs, we'll have a place to cook and everything.
Yeah.
But like there's also a lot of furniture pieces I want to build. Like I want to build a new desk for my office. I want to build like a lounge chair, just a bunch of stuff. So I want everything done. All those projects, all those things that are built for the basement done and finished this coming year.
Nice, man. Nice.
So that
So
shouldn't be
what
too
is
hard.
what's the rest of the basement going to look like? You mentioned a kitchenette, but you have your 2 offices downstairs, and I remember what it looked like. But I mean, are you going to have a bedroom down there? Are you going to make a new little living room? What are you going to do?
So we've got kind of 2 bedrooms, but those are our offices. Then we're going to have a little family room that we've decided we're going to make like almost bunk beds with these 2 beds for people that, want to come stay with us, but also set them up as kind of like day beds. So we have couch space, and then got a little bathroom, and then we got our laundry room, which I'm going to be kind of turning into a little bit of a kitchenette as well. So it's
Nice.
simple, nothing special, but it's definitely going to be nice to have it. All right.
Yeah.
So number 4, my 4th is create and fill a project board. This came from my wife. She had helped me with this idea. Like, seriously, did a lot of research, talked to my wife a lot about these resolutions. But I have a really bad habit of forgetting the positive things I've done and remembering negative things that I didn't do. So when we were talking about our Christmas card that we sent out this year, we had my wife was like, you did so much this year. And she started naming all these projects and all these things that I did throughout 2020. But I barely remembered any of them. And so I want to have a board that I'm going to have in my office, very visible, that I'm going to literally hang up pictures of every project that I've done over the year.
Nice.
That'll help me it'll give me a very, an easy way to go, no, I got a lot done this year. Look at this. So
Yeah, there's a big thing I read a book a long time ago called The How of Happiness, and it's by Susan Lizimbersky, I think is it. I'm going to butcher that name either way. But
Yeah.
the entire idea is just talking about positive psychology, and it's explaining how positive psychology, there's only so much of your physiological brain or whatever that you're in charge of. Like certain amount of your brain chemistry is comprised of like what genetics you got from both your parents, right? And then you have a whole nother section that is just about your environment. And then there's a whole nother section of your psychology and your attitude, your mental state and everything that you do have control over. And then this book is about channeling that area and how to encourage that area to develop, because that's the area you can actually control. You can't control necessarily your living situation or the situation of your life. You can't necessarily control what you were born with, just the genetic makeup you have, but you can control this sliver, right? And one of those big things is gratitude, and is recognizing, triumphs, wins, things you've done, all that kind of stuff. So it's cool that you're thinking about that as like, I'm going to have this board of showing all the cool shit I did and how awesome I am. That's awesome.
Dude, I'm gonna have to read that book. Also, another book along those lines, A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor E. Frankl. That book is interesting. Like, it's pretty much him sharing how he was a positive person in the concentration camps. So really
Wow.
interesting. Really interesting. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
all
So
right.
you have one more, right?
One more. The last one is, and this one is definitely just for you. So, I want to complete 3 games of your choosing.
Oh, my choosing.
Of your choosing, because I was thinking,
Oh,
I could
goodness.
have my wife pick video games for me, but I mean, more likely than not, I would be finishing Animal Crossing correctly. I would also be playing Stardew Valley again and probably Pikmin with her. So I figure I'm gonna do those anyways. So I was thinking, if you'll give me the 3 games that you feel I have to play or you think I should play more than others, I was thinking Witcher 3, but
Yeah.
this also is going to add a little bit of a external push for me to actually finish games and get back into getting into games that are out of my comfort zone a little bit.
Damn, that's a good one. I like that thinking. Interesting. I think that since I'm already breaking out into some areas that you play, maybe I'll have to take some recommendations from you too. But I'm not going to steal your entire idea because that is good, and that's
Dude, still away.
that's
I've been
interesting.
doing this for I've been writing all these for a while, but this was
Nicely
actually
done.
from my wife. She said you should do this, and I kind of broke it down. I realized I'm not going to, I'm not going to get like 100% the trophies or achievements.
No,
but
no.
I want to do more than just, go through a game, like go through a storyline. Like, I was thinking there's got to be some extra stuff that you're like, oh, you need to do these things as well to make the game complete for this challenge.
Sure. Okay.
So-
Okay. It won't be like a through the ringer thing, but like to get the full experience is what you're saying.
Yeah, like to really
it.
appreciate and enjoy, because I mean, most games you could probably get through the storylines pretty quick,
Yeah.
but like to really experience the game is a little bit different.
Yeah. No, man.
So-
I like your idea. Man, I mean, this is said before, but I mean, your wife, she comes up with really good ideas. That's
Dude,
not bad. Yeah.
my wife is freaking brilliant. But yeah, she was the one that literally was like, you should do this. And I was like, that is a great idea. And I should absolutely do it.
I guess I'm going to do that.
Yes. So
Interesting. Okay. All right. So you've heard our resolutions. We hope you guys have some great resolutions too. But now let's move on to like things we're excited about in 2021.
Also, real quick, like
Ooh,
if you have resolutions or if you think there's stuff that we should maybe think about putting into our resolutions, let us know. We'd love to hear the ideas. We'd love to do that. And if you care, if you want us to kind of update you once in a while, maybe once a month, just like hey, this is what's going on with these resolutions, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea too.
Yeah. Sorry.
Goodness. No, that is absolutely awesome. Because I mean, we're working on this year, like it's not in our resolutions, but me and Joshua both talked about how we want to just kind of continue to expand what we're doing here. We've had some pretty cool results when it comes to like us posting cool deals and us posting stuff and going on. And we've had a lot of fun doing it. And so we're just going to keep on trying to improve this. And we'd love to have interaction from you guys as well.
Yeah. We'll try to be a little bit more proactive and give you things to connect with us a little bit better.
Yeah. So things we're excited about in 2021. These ones are going to be kind of back and forth, right?
Yeah, but your first one on there, I was like, yes. I mean, that's obviously the biggest right now.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest one for things that we're excited about in 2021 is the fact that a vaccine is essentially ready to go on the horizon, ready to be distributed to everyone. It's apparently a super slow go right now, but we're hoping that long term, ideally, we'll be able to kind of get back to what we would consider normal, and at least create a new normal somehow with the vaccine in hand. That's kind of the big goal, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I know this is very polarizing right now. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it's untested" and all this, but this is going to help us as a society, and the more that we can accept it and maybe just kind of try to make it work for us, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something that let's just get it out of the way and let's move on and let's hope that it'll be something that's really beneficial. But I mean, I feel like everybody is ready to try and reclaim some sort of semblance of normalcy. So I think that everyone's going to be pretty excited about it one way or another.
Yeah, and really, like I've talked to a lot of people about this lately, and it's very polarizing. But for me, I've been talking to a few nurses lately, and a lot of the nurses that I know of, they're getting the vaccine first, and all that.
Yep.
The nurses and doctors, which I'm so happy that's the case. But also, if this is like really bad, like if something really bad comes out of this vaccine, I kind of want to have it as well, because if all of our doctors and nurses go, I don't really want to see what happens after.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about it. I'm ready.
You're I think you're under that essential, so you'll probably be getting it sooner than other people for sure as well.
I don't know. We'll see, but still,
Yeah.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
Nice. So non-vaccination related, Josh, what's one of yours?
So one thing, and I'm still not sure, I was looking it up just yesterday, but I'm hoping that Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Because Breath of the Wild is my favorite game. I've kind of come to realize, like, Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild, like, dude, I cannot wait for this second installation. I'm so excited.
I wonder, like, Nintendo is probably one of the ones with the best record of if they say there's going to be a release date, they're going to stick to it for the most part.
Well, they did say they were going to release it in 2020. Like, we all thought it was going to be, Christmas time.
I thought it was 2021.
Well, they said 2020 a couple of years ago, but they've kind of like backed off of that, and they said no, we can't do it right now. And so there's a lot of speculation that they're going to have a Switch Plus or like
Switch
Super
Pro.
Switch. Yeah, the Switch Pro, and they might, because Breath of the Wild is one of the best selling games for the system.
Oh yeah,
for the
hands
Switch.
down.
So there's a little bit of speculation of, hey, Breath of the Wild 2 comes out with the new Switch Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And seriously, as I've said before, I will buy this game and I will buy a new Switch for it if I have to. I don't care because I'm excited. But yeah,
I don't know what to expect from them when it comes to like the Switch Pro or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but it's also so weird. I don't know. Anyway,
it is. But I mean, if it's a stronger, more powerful Switch, or maybe even like a 4K Switch, not on the little tiny screen, but on a TV, I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Which completely unrelated, but kind of related. I played Halo, the anniversary edition from Xbox One, on my phone the other day while in bed using an Xbox controller, using the Xbox Game Pass. And
holy shit, that's kind of cool.
It was pretty damn cool, actually. Sure, there was some tearing and the graphics would kind of skip back and forth, but my bedroom is on the opposite side of the house, on the same floor, but on the opposite side of the house from the router. And I was streaming it from my router, from my Wi-Fi router on Wi-Fi, and it was pretty smooth. And I was like, I'm playing an Xbox game on my phone with a controller in 720 to 1080. That's kind of insane. What a time to be alive.
Seriously, like, this is the time for gamers. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Until we have, like, animus stuff where we can jack into the play a video game that way, this is the time.
Yeah, and he means insert yourself into VR, not jack in a fleshlighty sort of way. But
Well, wouldn't that be jack off? I was thinking more of like the Matrix style. Like,
yeah.
Shove a spike into my head, like, so I can play a game.
So this one is kind of something that it's kind of weird because it's just because of COVID and how crazy things have been in my life. But like something I'm excited about in 2021 is I moved, obviously, and I'm closer to Josh now. But
Yay.
like with the holidays and COVID and it being winter and stuff, we just haven't like really left our house all that much. Like we'll go and do grocery pickups and we'll go to a store if we have to. But like this is actually an area that I'm not too, my old hometown, Linden is only 15 minutes away, but and so I'm familiar with this area, but it's been a minute since I've lived down here. So something I'm kind of excited about throughout 2021 is kind of getting reacquainted with Utah Valley again. I think that's something to kind of like be looking forward to. A lot's changed, actually, surprisingly, from when I lived down here only 4 years ago. It's kind of weird. I don't know. So I'm excited about that because our gaming community here is kind of split up into 3 factions. You have the Weber area with like Ogden, you have like Salt Lake Valley, and then you have Utah Valley. And that's like the 3 areas that are most prominent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll get reacquainted down here. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe we'll actually have to like start biking or start running and like meet up and run through streets and actually see the town more than just driving through it. It's
been a minute since we longboarded. We'll get you pads and stuff. We can do that.
Oh, I don't care about eating shit anymore. So I'll just take it.
Okay.
My body is ready. That's all I'm saying.
It. All right. So what's one from you, man?
So this one's kind of yours, but it's also I jumped on with it.
Oh yeah.
But like seriously, some of the new shows, like new seasons of shows that are coming out are going to be like epic. I'm so excited for. Like you put on here Witcher, which oh my gosh, I'm sorry I took so long to watch that show. Like it is amazing. And like seriously, it's such a cool story and it's really telling a good story and it's really well done. So that one's exciting. I've got a couple like animes that I'm super excited about as well. Like the time that I got turned into a slime.
Yeah, so like I think you told me a little bit about this show, or no, it was Overlord that you were telling me about. What is the time I got turned into a slime one?
So time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's what it is. It's one of the tropes where someone dies doing something good and a god type character like reincarnates them into another world because they can't put them back in the old world. Okay. And so this character, he gets reincarnated and he has all these wishes like, oh, I don't want to be, get killed again. I don't want to have this. And so pretty much he has all these wishes as he's dying. And the god type character actually is like, all right, well, the only thing that's going to fit all these wishes you have is a slime. And so he literally gets reincarnated as this little slime and just hilarity ensues. It's very funny, but it's also, it's got some really almost heart jerking, like, moments in it. And I really like it. And it's good. And it's just kind of a fun one. And yeah. And then another one is, I'm thinking they mentioned it, but they haven't necessarily given a release date. I'm thinking the next season of Dragon Maid is going to come out this year.
And that one's a Netflix exclusive, isn't it?
No, that one's on Funimation, on VRV, or
yeah. You talked about this one on our anime episode.
Yeah, and seriously, Dragon Maid is one of my absolute favorite. It's just chill, it's fun, it's like the characters are adorable. I'm connected to all of them. And
nice.
I want more. And also I got my wife to watch it and she loves it. She was actually so mad that it didn't have more episodes. So
that's something you can both look forward to.
Yeah. And I'm going to also put on there, I just remembered, like, as always for me, RWBY, the 8th season we're in the middle of, they took a month and a half off. And so that's going to start back up in February. And man, that show is just getting better and better every episode. Like, I'm just never disappointed in that show now.
That's awesome. One that I'm excited for, it is a Netflix exclusive, but if you haven't watched Big Mouth, oh my gosh, that show is bananas and off the rails, but it should have a new season this upcoming summer or fall, and I'm excited about that too.
Nice.
But yeah, if you haven't watched that one is highly inappropriate, but it's become a favorite of the wife and mine, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah. And Witcher for sure, obviously. That's a big one for me.
It was really well done. It's just really, oh man, like when you say like story adaptations and like video game adaptations, Witcher is the thing. Like you should be really paying attention to this, people.
That should be the bar.
Oh man, it is. It's too high of a bar, I think. Honestly, it's not telling the story of everything else that we've seen, like in the books or movies or the games. I mean, but it's still like a good story that you get connected to, and it explains a lot of stuff, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that's how this is. Yeah. It's just such cool connections.
Nice. So I got one more, and this is kind of like a very, it's something that I'm all about for sure. Obviously with the beginning release of any new console gen, there's always that scarcity and all that kind of shit, which I've never understood why people buy it right off the bat. I did it once, I'll never do it again. Just wait a year, let them get out the kinks. But then also within the next year usually is when you start seeing limited edition consoles, and that's when I buy. That's my like go-to buying period, is when if they come out with a God of War PS5, or they come out with a Halo Infinite Xbox Series X. That's when I'm going to jump on the bandwagon, because, dude, they hold their value and they're just pretty. I'm a sucker for limited editions, is what it comes down to. I can't even pretend like there's any other argument, but it's just I'm a sucker for them.
Honestly, like you mentioned to me, like you showed me the picture of the PS4 Destiny one, and I was like, I didn't know this existed. And then I was like, I was in love, and I looked for that thing for so long and I couldn't find it. But man, oh dude, I'm actually kind of coming around to your ideas on buying games and stuff. Like, honestly, funny story. Like, I thought my wife had this big present under the tree for me. And I was like, I don't know what it was. I think I had a dream, but I was sure. One day I was just sure that it was a PS5. Like, I knew it was. Like, I knew it was so much that I didn't even look at it. And if I had actually looked at it, it was too thin and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I don't know about this. This is, I don't really need a PS5, especially right now. There's not a lot of games for me. And I'm like, it's not a PS5. Like, it was literally all day. I was like, I just knew. And then I'm like, no, it can't be. And finally, like, on Christmas, we got to open the present. It's so much better. It's a freaking Lego set of a Nintendo, like an old 8-bit Nintendo Lego set.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's so cool. It's so much better than a PS5 for me. And like, now I'm just like, I'm just right there with you. I just want to wait until they kind of get the kinks out, kind of figure the stuff out, get a few games that I'm excited about. And I don't know. I mean, the Xbox or the PS5, I don't know, but I'm really excited for next season. Like, next Christmas season.
That's the thing. Next season, they'll be in stock, and then they'll have cool limited edition ones. Probably. It's crazy. Like that's when I like to jump in, but that's a personal preference. But realistically, like you really, really should just chill for a bit and then get it later. It's not worth it right now. You got 10 maybe good games, if that, and that's about it.
Not even that. Like maybe 10 over across both of the platforms, but there's not anything really. Like the Xbox is big, the big, release for that got pushed back.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite, Halo is not coming out for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. That's my thing. And by next year, I hope that they have some really cool limited editions. People have done mock-ups and stuff of them, and they are always just so awesome. And then when they come out with actual editions from the actual console makers, it's like, oh, well, this guy did a mock-up that was like 10 times better. And so wish you would have done that. But,
well, I mean, I'm hoping that I can convince you to make some of the controllers again, because dude, like your designs on the controllers were freaking awesome. So
yeah. I mean, it's something that's part of the Photoshop one, right? So we can keep on going from there.
Get those and maybe get a few of them made. So
yeah,
that would be awesome.
Anyway, so that's our New Year's episode. We hope that you guys had a great New Year's. Maybe you're watching this or listening to this while you're hungover. Who knows? But we hope that you have made a good set of resolutions yourself. Feel free to share them with us.
Yes, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, let us know. If they're gaming related, awesome. If they're personal growth related, awesome. But either way, it's a new year, and we got past the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to just keep it quiet and private message us and just whisper in our ears of what you're doing, we'll definitely give you, good job. We're happy for you. We're there.
We'll give you a quiet high five. But yeah,
give you some internet points.
Yeah. We hope you guys had fun. And all of our information is at the end of the episode. And thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Geek Reloading Podcast with Adam and Josh. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Have a question? Email us at geekreloading@gmail.com. Theme song titled Rocket by Kevin MacLeod. You can rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on your preferred podcast service.